So from both them experiences, did that lead you to you setting up your own business?
Yeah, it did. So yeah, naturally I went on to shifting my focus towards setting up my own business, because I felt as though I could use my recent university qualifications in the likes of graphic design and web design to start my own web design and development agency.
Yep.
And also as well, my mum and my business partner's skills complemented mine really well, because she had qualifications in copywriting, so she could do all the copy whilst I designed and developed the websites, and it went really well initially, but then COVID hit, and all of the leads that we had, all of the contracts that had been signed, gone completely.
Yeah.
So that's where we needed to rethink and go back to the drawing board, and that's where we came up with the idea of website accessibility, because we wanted to help companies to make the websites usable for people with different kinds of disabilities and impairments, essentially. And then also, I think another motivation behind it is that we wanted to show that autistic people are capable of spreading a positive message and creating a positive difference, essentially. And I'm referring to it in the context of independence there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, absolutely.
So yeah. Anyway, we did the we're still doing the website accessibility, but then a couple of years ago, I found myself in a dark place.
Okay.
Because ever since I was a teenager, that was the first time that I realised that I was really different, and it caused me to have an acceptance struggle with my autism, and I came to a breaking point a couple of years ago where I just completely had enough, essentially, and that's when I decided to write my own book.
Yes.
But the thing is, it was meant to be a resource just for myself at first, to reflect on what has gone well in my life so far and what has gone bad.
Yeah. Okay.
But I showed my mum and dad. I showed my mum and dad the book, and they said that I should publish it. So I did, and yeah, here we are. It's I've got lots of positive feedback. It seems to have helped a lot of people, whether it's parents, teachers, or any company employees and employers. So yeah,
it's very useful from all sort of angles, isn't it? Because obviously, like I've read it, of course, and it is brilliant, a really interesting read. But it does, you put helpful tips at the end to sort of summarise. But they can be used, like you say, by parents and carers for an understanding, probably for individuals with autism, and I'd say people with learning disabilities. There's a lot that's relatable from other people as well.
Well, one comment I'll make going back to parents is that I've had a few parents approach me and said how much the book has helped them to understand the child better, or to give them the motivation to pursue a diagnosis for the child.
Yeah, so that's an interesting thing, the diagnosis side, because I speak to people who get diagnosed very late, and you feel like they've missed out on years of support and help and guidance that maybe should have been getting.
Exactly.
And I suppose that if that starts at school time, that people aren't getting the support they need, or not just support, but support, guidance, help, whatever it is. If they're not getting that early on, then that can really affect them later on in life as well, can't it?
It's all about giving yourself, if you are autistic, of course, giving yourself the time to understand why you are different. And I had that luxury because I was diagnosed when I was 8 years old.
Yeah. So you feel that it was diagnosed early enough that you got support through school, maybe?
Yeah, exactly. That was another benefit. I got the support as well, and it gave me more time to reflect on why I was different.
Do you feel just knowing then, just because you had a diagnosis, do you feel that just helped you in the sense that you get to process it? Like, it's right, I know what this They say, I know that I'm autistic.
100%, yeah, because there's so much time vary in terms of how I process different things that may happen or different thoughts that I may have. And sometimes certain things may take me absolutely years to process, whereas other things can take a matter of a day maybe or something like that. So
yeah,
it's just how it is, Wayne, to be honest with you.
Absolutely. But I suppose having that diagnosis means you can understand that and work out what you need to put in place for yourself.
Exactly. Because I'm a person who is very intuitive firstly, and I always have to make sure that I know how the pieces fit together in terms of everything that's happened. I have to know the reason why it has happened and how it's kind of benefited me.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah, that really helps and makes a difference.
Yeah. So do you think you seem to have done really well academically? So getting did you say B's at A level and then
B's
a first?
at A levels and then a first in university. Yeah.
So do you feel that having that diagnosis maybe helped to achieve that, or do you think without the diagnosis you did still?
Yeah. I think it would have been a bit more of a struggle without the support that I got in education.
Yeah. So I suppose the kind of message behind that is if you can get a diagnosis, the earlier the better. Get the support and help you need and understanding that you need.
I mean, it's not impossible for people that get diagnosed later on to build a good life for themselves. But all I'm saying is, from my experience, I think it makes life a lot easier if you have your autism diagnosis earlier on. So.
And then, so that's academically. So then moving into employment, you've highlighted a good experience, one that went well, and then one that didn't go so well. In both them instances, did you disclose your diagnosis?
I did.
Do you think that's important when someone's moving into employment?
Absolutely, very, very important, because at the end of the day, how will the employer know how to prepare themselves for the challenge ahead and what adjustments to make if you don't disclose your autism, or at least what you find challenging if you don't feel comfortable disclosing your autism directly straight away.
Yeah, because I imagine that must be quite a difficult thing for some people to sort of disclose that immediately, as you say.
I think it gets easier as you get to know your employer more, and maybe if you develop a strong working relationship.
Yeah, so that goes back again, doesn't it, to that workplace culture and finding the right environment for anybody.
Yeah.
So that they do feel comfortable enough to say, this is what sort of I need.
Yeah.